Hello, hello. Welcome to the live. Oh. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know if you have anything to share about last week. What was your Kazimi like? We've had a very exciting week last week with a Kazimi on a Tuesday, with a new moon on a Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? I think it was a Wednesday. I have used the opportunity to create more candles. There is the Lunar Jupiter and Jupiter Kazimi. So these are my latest additions. Lunar Jupiter was created with the moon on the ascendant, Jupiter in Cancer. So this one is really good for manifesting, for nurturing, for female, for fertility, things like that. And Jupiter Kazimi was created on the day of Jupiter Kazimi, which is something we get once every 12 years. So it's a very lucky time and opportunity. What was your week like last week? Do share. I would greatly appreciate if you guys have anything to share. Hi, Gogo Pogo. Thank you so much every time for the love. I am doing mini readings, right? The way this works is these are donation-based readings. Suggested donation is $25, but it is pay what you can. If you have a question, I do ask for a donation, and then there is a link. Okay, let me share a link. Today is a little bit rushed moving around, so I didn't have time to set to line everything up. Okay, so just a minute. Let me know what was last week like for you. Okay, so again, these are donation-based readings. Pay what you can based on how much you can afford and how much you feel like, you can pay. Suggested amount is 25, but again, it is up to what is comfortable for you. Once you send the donation, you can share your information in the chat, or you can email it to me at anastasia.does.astrology@gmail.com. If you want your information to be private, you can specify that you want your information to be hidden, and then I'll share the info without sharing. I'll share the chart without sharing your information. And the questions you can ask can basically vary and be all kinds of things. Honey York, hi, fellow Libra rising. How do we ask a question? Hopefully I answered that, even if with a little bit of ADHD. Allison, last week, lots of working. Yeah, did you guys notice any good luck? I had, like, the day after Kazimi, I had like an order. Somebody placed an order of 5 candles and I got 2 students basically like back to back. So that was amazing and very much Jupiter Kazimi gift, I think. Celine is asking, how long does your astrology class in September last? 3 months. So we're meeting twice a week, 2 hours each Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern to discuss the theory. This will mostly going to be sort of me impacting my knowledge onto you. At the end of the class, we will have some time for questions. And then once a week, during the week, we're going to also have office hours, which will be more conversation. I might have some homework. So looking at homework, discussing some things like that. Hi, Marcello or Marcelo. Okay, is Hugo here? Or Manuel? I have Hugo and Manuel are the ones that send their donations prior to this. And yeah, if you guys noticed that last week was particularly lucky for you, I would love to know. Oh, okay. Both Hugo and Manuel are already here. Awesome. So Hugo, just tell me again, you wanted your information to be private, correct? I was about to finish putting it in. It's so hard sometimes to not say it out loud as I'm typing it in, because also I feel like when I'm live with you guys, it's, I'm supposed to be saying things, but you are smart and patient and you understand that sometimes it is okay to be quiet. Okay, Hugo, Allison, thank you for the YouTube payment. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Just for future to people who want to donate, please use the link that I provided in the description and in the comment, because YouTube payments go through YouTube and then they don't, they're taxed heavily. They're sort of like, it's great. I appreciate it. And it's awesome. Not to say that Allison shouldn't have done it, but just like in the future, please use the link of the in the description. Okay, Hugo, yes. Honey York, I forgot to tell you my question, but I sent a payment. Where did you send it? I did not. I don't know if I saw it. I do have some people from the past. Okay, I do see Grace. Grace, is that you? Okay. Okay, let me see. I feel like I'm missing some things. Okay. So I'm just gonna get a list going for myself so I keep track of everybody who sent payments. And again, for those of you who want your information to be kept private, please send an email to anastasia.does.astrology@gmail.com and say private kind of right at the front of the email so I know to keep your information private. Yeah, no worries, Allison. I know sometimes it's like some people don't even have options that I share in the link. Like not everybody lives in the States and not everybody has PayPal, so I appreciate it. I just feel like I forgot to mention it for people who are coming in. Okay, Grace and Allison. Allison. In true Gemini moon style, I have a lot of tabs open, so it takes a minute to figure it out. Okay, so Hugo, Manuel, Grace, and Allison is the list as it is right now. I also have people who have sent donations in the past. So if any of you have submitted a donation and I didn't get to you for whatever reason, or you weren't there when I was calling your name, do let me know, because that is, I will make sure to prioritize you. Okay. Okay. So Hugo is first. Let's see. So I'm going to hide your information first and foremost. And I appreciate that you even specified your sun, moon, and rising to me, so I will know that the chart I pulled up is correct. So what did you say? Well, first you said I'm doing a great work as a traditional Western astrologer. I appreciate that. Then you said I follow you for a while. With the possibility to translate it into my home language, Dutch, and I can follow your information explanation easily. You're saying your English is not so good. Seems like you're saying Google Translate is your friend. Seems like you're doing a good job communicating here. And I appreciate you being here at 11 p.m. That is quite late. So question you have is, what is influencing my life right now? But other things. Okay, you said you were a teacher of children, primary school since 2013 at home. Have we done a reading before, Hugo? I feel like you're familiar to me, but maybe we haven't. There may have been somebody else who is similar. You're saying hobby, photographing models at home studio. After a long time, I'm about to start again with my hobby photography at home. This means that new investments are needed, camera, computer, but I'm not sure if this is a well thought out plan. Okay, let's take a look. No reading before. Okay, I'm probably thinking of a different Hugo. So there will be some limitations when I am hiding information, because I cannot do a transit chart. At least I don't think I can do it. It doesn't seem to allow me, but I can do your regular chart. So this, I think, is correct, right? Based on what you said, and even I believe you sent a picture of your chart. So I think that's what it was. I use whole sign house system, so the chart I'm showing will be slightly different from what you're seeing. Okay. So you're asking what is influencing your life right now. So you are a Scorpio rising ruled by Mars in Leo. And you worked with children in the past. Okay. So your midheaven is in the 11th. So, okay. So you have midheaven, which is the angle of career in the 11th house. And that's usually a sign of your professional impact being connected to the influence you have on people, right? Like you need a job that is social. You need a job that helps others somehow. You are like every tree is known by its fruit type of person. And Pluto will also suggest to me that there might be a certain energy of like death and rebirth, maybe helping people, maybe being really like able to dig deep and see things deeply. And that is even more emphasized by the fact that the ruler of your midheaven is Mercury in the 12th house, and the ruler of your 10th house is the sun in the 12th house. So you have this ability, I think, to like see beyond what meets the eye, and perhaps your teachings or your work has this sort of like ethereal spiritual quality to it, being even having Venus on the ascendant, right? That is very creative, and having being a Libra sun, Libra Mercury, that is a very, it tends to be like a very, I think, eloquent, creative, charming type of personality. Of course, Venus is in her detriment in Scorpio, which can sometimes create a bit of obsessive feelings. But again, sort of this great ability to see into the darkness and to appreciate the darkness. Like Pluto, not Pluto, yeah, but Venus in Scorpio just reads to me as someone who's gonna like, show the things in life that maybe are beautiful but are a little bit dark. It's like somebody who is charming and sunny, but then also likes murder mysteries, right? That's very much, I think, what I'm seeing in your chart. So the question was, what is happening? Oh, I love your Jupiter in Pisces. This is really lovely, and it rules your house of money. How nice. And it rules your house of children. So that's probably why you were someone who were like a teacher of children for a while. And then, so currently we have North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Last time this would have been 2007, 2008, I believe. Let me just double check. Sometimes it's like crosses over, but I'm pretty sure it's 2007, 2008. Maybe 2006, second half of 2006. Yeah, second half of 2006 into 2007. What was that like for you, Hugo? Lori, I see your payment. Thank you so much. For people who are just joining on, the list is currently Hugo, Manuel, Grace, Allison, and Lori. These are donation-based readings. Pay what you can based on how much you can afford. Suggested amount is 25, but it's up to you. So, okay, Hugo, definitely reflect back on that period from the second half of 2006 into 2007. What is happening right now is this energy is being repeated. Let me just go back to... Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I'm like really conscious of not showing the information if people ask that I don't show their information. And if some of you guys don't want your information to be shown, again, email me at anastasia.does.astrology@gmail.com and specify that that's what you want. It does limit me in a way sometimes, but it shouldn't really affect the quality of the reading. It's just harder to put transits on that chart. And thank you also to everyone who has pressed the like button on this live. It helps a lot. Okay, Hugo. So with the South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces, you are currently in this place of letting something go in your professional life. On many levels, you're maybe letting go of what people think of you. You may be letting go of these worries, perfectionist tendencies, self-criticism, workaholism, and you're leaning more, which makes sense that you're saying you're thinking about going back to photography. So, and you said after a long time. So, after, again, I'm curious, 2006, 2007, were you doing photography at that point? So, North Node in the fifth house will encourage you to connect with your imagination, your dreams, and you're mentioning the finances. I think you will have finances that you need because the ruler of your house of money is this Jupiter in rulership. So I would say go for it. I think that's what the universe is calling you to do. It's calling you to get in touch with your childlike wonder and lean into creativity, especially with your North Node also in Leo. You're very much meant to do creative things. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. I'm gonna stop sharing. Honey York says I was like number 5. Honey York, are you Grace? And Manuel, are you still here? And you're welcome, Hugo. I'm glad this was helpful. And also, if you guys have any questions about my readings, about my class, the class begins in September, only 2 months away. So it could be a really insightful opportunity, especially with Jupiter being in Cancer, good time to invest in yourself. Okay, Manuel is here. The list right now is Manuel, Grace, Allison, and Lori. Honey York says yes, so you are Grace. Hi, KJT, fellow Libra risings. I only know Libra rising. No, I do know one Libra rising in real life, but we met through astrology. So I don't know a ton of Libra risings in real life. Okay, Manuel. So, Manuel, does it matter to you that I keep your information private? And if not, could you say... okay, so Manuel's question, KJT, these are donation-based readings. The information is in the description. They are pay what you can. Suggested amount is 25. Okay, so Manuel, let me see. You're saying I'm losing sleep over an issue I have, and I have a lot of anxiety over. I'm going to Spain and try to reconcile with a girl named Christina, who started talking to her long-distance ex again. I want to know what my prospects are according to astrology, and if the stars point at something good starting again in my love life. Will we be able to rekindle our relationship? Will I see her? Will my trip go well? Be worth it? That's a lot of questions. Do you think we have a chance of being together? And also, what's next for me? So I'll do what I can. But I think what feels right for you is pulling a horary chart first. And horary chart in astrology is like a tarot reading. It's not a tarot reading, but it's similar to it because what it does is ask the question of the planets in the moment. You're basically pulling a chart of the moment. And so I guess the question would be like, what is the future with Christina, right? So this one we are going to pull up with the time and place right now. What is the future with Christina? And these are fun, and I actually really like relationship readings, like for horary a lot, because I think they're pretty easy to understand. Okay, so today is June 30th, 2025. Time is 5:20 p.m. and the place is New York, New York. So when you look at horary readings, you always have to go with Reggio Montanus. So Manuel mentioned that he'd like me to consider both whole sign and Placidus. So in horary, you kind of do that one and you don't really look at other things. Okay, let's take a look and see what it tells us. Okay, so it's interesting because the ascendant has fallen at the end of Scorpio, and sometimes people dismiss these kinds of charts as things will continue as they are. But that being said, I am still going to look at what the chart says, but just sort of, if you have the ascendant at the very, very end, it's kind of like no change is being shown at the moment. So that is interesting to consider. It's also interesting that the ascendant has fallen. The ascendant is currently in Scorpio and you are a Scorpio sun, right? And that means the seventh house, the other person is Venus and Taurus. And you also mentioned that she's a Taurus rising. So it seems to show you guys for sure. So then we look at, Manuel, your planet will be Mars in Virgo at this. It's in the ninth house. So that also makes a lot of sense, right? Like ninth house is the realm of travel and foreign lands and foreign people, and you're traveling, you're about to go on a trip. So is this trip going to change things? Is it possible that things will continue as they are between the two of you? Or are you kind of on this precipice of making a decision? Because like, what do you think of this? Things will go as they are for the time being. I know you traveling seems like an interesting development, but I do wonder. So she is she also abroad, or is she originally from Spain? Do let me know. So you are both Mars and you would be the moon, because the moon is given to the person that's asking a question. She would be Venus. It's okay. So Venus here is currently in the sixth house, which means that maybe she's abroad or she's somewhere like far away, or she's dealing with a health issue, but that is about to change. Maybe she's also overwhelmed and like burdened by a bunch of work that she's dealing with. All of that is going to change pretty soon because she's going to enter the seventh house. She's basically already like on the border of the seventh house, and she's shown here as like a relatively strong person. Maybe all that means is that she's just very secure in herself and in who she is. Your moon, so the moon is actually going towards Venus, I'm pretty sure, because that doesn't seem like there's a new aspect. Yeah. So there is a connection here. There seems to be like, you guys are going to connect, and maybe there is a future in that regard. But the ascendant in the late degree is what maybe is sort of throwing me off. So you're saying she's from Spain, she's a Cancer sun, but Taurus rising, you said. Oh, her birthday is coming up. So I do like the moon trining Venus for sure. That definitely looks promising. And it does seem like there's a connection between the two of you. And if I were to time it, right, it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20, well, so like eight days, you're traveling in 8 days. Okay, July 7th is when you're traveling. So it does look like, it does look like something might. I'm also curious in terms of feelings. So it seems like she does have, she does have strong feelings for herself, or she's like very self-contained on some levels. um let's take a look at whether there is some other strong indication of like affinity or connection. So she's Venus at 25 degrees Taurus. So her home sign, her own triplicity, Jupiter's term, Saturn, detriment of Mars. Okay. Moon, Moon 17. Mars is 7 Virgo. Mercury. Okay, you are in her triplicity. You are in her term. Could it be that your feelings for her are stronger than hers for you? Well, it seems like you said she started talking to someone, right? So I'm like asking and answering my own question. Okay, Moon is in 17 Virgo. It seems okay. It's like a little bit contradictory, I think. Sorry, I'm just moving the book back. Right now, yes, as in her feelings, like your feelings are stronger than her feelings. Yeah, so it's interesting. There is going to be, I think, like an emotional encounter, and it seems to be harmonious, but the ascendant being as is, seems like things might continue to go as they are between you two. So maybe it's not necessarily going to change. And if you wanted to like look at your compatibility, at your synastry, I would suggest booking a relationship reading so we can give it more time and analyze it more in depth. Do you have any follow-up questions, Manuel? I mean, you were also asking some other things. I could potentially just answer like one other thing because I don't want to take too much time since I have other people. Celine is asking, how often do you do these live birth chart readings? I'm trying to do them every week. Sorry. I've been doing them every week for a while. So every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Manuel, I can look at your chart in terms of regular astrology, but it's like relationships are always a lot more complicated in terms of questions because you need to look at multiple people. And we can't fully know. That's why horary chart is the most accurate one, because that one sort of answers a more specific question. Because like we can't know where she's at. I can look at your chart to be like, what's coming up for you. So let's take a look at that real quick, and then I will do the next person's reading. Because these are designed to be more one question type of readings. Okay, Mexico City. Mexico City is pretty. I've been there. Okay. So let's see what your chart has to say. Are you a Pisces rising? And also keep in mind that, looking at horary, this is what it's showing right now. It doesn't have to be a permanent answer, as in like things will stay this way permanently, but it is what I'm seeing at this moment. You're saying thank you from Condesa and Polanco. What is that? I don't know what that is. And also because it's in the 29th degree, it could count as Sag 0 degree. I wouldn't look at it as Sagittarius 0 degree. It's in Scorpio. The ascendant, no matter the degree, it is in Scorpio. Okay, wait a second. I want to pull up your chart with transits. Oh, also, wait, I missed something or someone. Gregory. Gregory, I saw a payment from you, so I'm going to add you to my list. So after Manuel, we have Grace, Allison, Lori, and Gregory. And for those who want their information to stay private, you can send me an email, Anastasia astrology at gmail.com, and put your information in there and just put big letters. Keep it private. Okay, Brittany is also here. Miss Ulala says, hi, I want to book a reading. If you want to book a full-size reading, you can do so on my website. If you want to ask a question now, there are payment links in the description. I ask that you please use those, and you can then send your information or ask a question. Okay, Manuel, so there is a lot going on with eclipses and it being your nodal return. There are currently eclipses in August, and we're going to have one more in September in Virgo, your house of relationships. So it does look like things might be happening. I just like that horary chart looks conflicting to me, and I think with the south node, your natal north node being in Pisces, your south node being in Virgo, it's on some level maybe asking you to find balance between trying to control the outcome, or you know, I'm just not 100% sure how like good of a fit you guys are, because maybe we need to look at like more charts, or maybe I need to talk to you about it. It's just that chart, the horary chart, I think influenced me. Let me try to like forget about it. But you are very much in this relationship focused place right now. What was happening in your life in late 2006, 2007? KJT, you're saying you asked question in PayPal. Do I need to put it there? If you could email it to me, that would be best. Anastasia astrology at gmail.com. I'm probably going to close the list soon. So if anybody else wants to jump on, these are donation based, pay what you can. Suggested amount is 25. And yeah, if you want your information to be private, or if you want your question to sort of be right in front of me, I suggest emailing. So Manuel, whatever was happening in your life in 2006, 2007, you're back in the similar place. And there is a sense of new developments in relationships, but in order for a new thing to happen, something else needs to be released, because North Node in Pisces is encouraging you to get in touch with who you are and what you want. And then perhaps let something go in relationships, like let go of some fears or some, even like critical tendencies towards yourself or towards other people, or a desire to like know everything, control everything. So maybe it's like an opportunity to try to go with the flow a little bit. I mean, you are a Scorpio sun conjunct Pluto, and your south node is in Virgo, so it might be hard for you to not try to control things, but there might be a lesson there. So Manuel, I hope this helps. Again, if you want like a more detailed analysis of your compatibility, I do ask that you book a relationship reading, because that will give us a chance to dive into it more. It's just a very complicated question, especially when you start like putting people together. Okay. I'm glad that you guys are bonding. Your question is, should I go? It looks like you're going. It looks like you're gonna go. You didn't buy the ticket yet? Maybe you should go and see what happens. Maybe you should go and try to enjoy it, instead of like trying to just try to see how you feel, and like, go there for you, go there to like have fun. And if something happens, then it does happen. You're saying, thank you, I did buy it. Not sure what you're talking about, but thank you for submitting your question. I hope it was helpful, even though it seems like a bit ambiguous right now. I think maybe it's also just reflecting where you are. The tickets. Oh, you did buy the tickets. yeah, so I feel like you should go. And like in the horror, it looks like you are going. I'm just not sure, like, are you gonna move there? That whole thing of like things will continue as they are. Like, let's say you go, let's say you have a good time. Are you gonna move? Or are you still gonna go back and you're gonna take some time? So maybe that's the whole thing of like it will continue as it is for the time being. And it's also something that can change in the future. So like if it's showing right now that things will keep as they are, you want to. Okay, eventually though, but not like immediately, right? How long are you going for? Miss Ulala, did you did you submit a donation? Who is the donation coming from? Just to make sure. Okay, Grace, New York is next. You're going for 12 days and you're saying right in terms of it taking some time. Yeah, so I think that might be it. And like just I think probably worth checking out, but just try to like maybe have a good time and trust, because Jupiter is currently in your house of pleasure and romance and children. So children, be careful not to get her pregnant if you're not ready for that yet. And yeah, try to like let go of control a little bit and like listen to your intuition, because I think as a Scorpio sun, you probably have very strong intuition. Okay. Grace. So Grace, could you share your information or did you email it to me? I don't think I see any emails. I only see an email from Miss Ulala, but I am not 100% sure whether Miss Ulala is on my list. Because right now it's Grace, Allison, Lori, Gregory, and Brittany. Oh, you send it in PayPal. Okay, let me see. Do you want it to be kept private? Oh, wait, I also see Carla. So Carla is before Brittany. Okay. Oh, okay. You want to have your information private. And I don't see your question though. So if you don't mind sharing your question. Hi, Karen. I prefer to go by Anastasia, just FYI. But it is good. It's good to see you. It's one of my pet peeves when people call me Anna. I'm like, I should be above it, but you know, we all have our own things. Because in Russia, Anna is Anna, Anastasia is Anastasia. So I'm very attached to my name and I like it. Okay. Okay, Grace. So let me see. I'm putting your information in. By the way, if you guys haven't subscribed to my yoga channel and you like astrology, sorry, if you like yoga, if you like yoga, check out Anastasia Does Yoga. It's on my YouTube page. If you go to Anastasia Does Astrology and scroll a little bit like low, you will see Anastasia Does Yoga there. Okay, so Grace, let me hide your information. So again, I don't think I can look at transits together with your information being hidden. Let me see if that's an option at all. I do not think so, but let's see. I can always also just look at your chart without necessarily sharing it. Okay, just a second. Yeah, it doesn't let me hide the information if I'm looking at the transit. So we're going to have to stick with me looking at some things privately. Okay, I also see a payment from Normian. I am going to close the list because I think it's getting pretty big at this point, and I don't want people to not get their turn today. No worries, Karen. I just, just putting it out there. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I see you. Nermeen. Let me just put the update that list is closed. So none of us have to rush, especially me. Okay. List is closed for now. Okay. So, Grace. So does this look correct for you? Gemini Sun, Cancer Moon, Libra Rising. And your question was, when will I have a long-term love relationship? Been single since 2010. You're saying, yes, I have a kite. It took me a minute. I was like, oh, a kite. What kind of shape is it? It's cool to have a kite. And then I was like, astrology. I'm a traditional astrologer, so I don't necessarily look at those like formations that are not. Well, I guess, yeah. I don't work with kites as much, but I have known about them. Happy Jupiter return! How exciting! Have you been noticing any blessings of Jupiter return? Okay, so you are a Libra rising, and the ruler of your chart is Venus and Aries, and Venus is ruled by Mars. Mars is ruled by Venus. So your ruler is Venus and Aries, which tends to be it's tricky, right? So Venus is in her detriment in Aries, Mars is in his detriment in Taurus, and they rule each other. So it's like when you're in an apartment, Venus is in the apartment of Mars when she's surrounded by knives and all the instructions are written in Chinese and she doesn't speak Chinese. And Mars is a fighter in the domain of like, he's like surrounded by, I don't know, like magical fairy tale castles and he like wants to move but he can't. So and maybe like basically both of the planets are located in the signs that they're struggling in. So I would recommend, if you wanted to book a reading, we can like talk about remediation and things that you can do. But Venus and Mars candles, doing rituals, doing like Venus every Friday, doing things for Venus, self-love, flowers. I do it. I'm ruled by Venus in her fall. Every Friday, I donate money to a charity that's connected to women. I read a prayer, or I light a candle. I don't think I have any of them next to me, but like, there she is. Venus in Libra is a really great choice for you as a Libra rising, and maybe Mars Cazimi, Mars in Scorpio could be great as well to work with your Cancer placements. So kind of working with this energy in a conscious way could be the first step. And you don't have to be just like, oh, things are difficult in my love life. There are ways that you can work with it. And then Mars and Taurus every Tuesday doing a ritual connected to Mars. We can talk about it more if you wanted to like book a reading. You're saying mom died, not able to meet a man who wants to commit. Compass, Astramind, New York, make sure to get out as soon as you see the red flag. New York says you're right. Microphone is messing up. Can you guys hear me okay? How about now? Did it get better? I hope it's okay. It should be. Okay, let me just... Oh no.